Hi, my name's Tim. I'm here today to give the reflection on today's Moravian text, which is Romans 7, verses 7 to 20. Before I get into providing a few thoughts, just want to reflect again on what's going on with the book of Romans. The church in Rome is a mixed church, part Messianic Jews and part Gentile converts. And recently, the Messianic Jews have been expelled, left Rome for a period of time, and in that interim, the converts got on with running the church. Then the exiles have returned, and that has created a degree of tension as they've attempted to perhaps reassert their primacy within the group. And to be honest, you could say it's a little bit like what happened with the Labour Party, when a load of old left-wingers left or were expelled and exiled, and then returned a few years later, and have that's given rise to a huge amount of tension and difficulty in the Labour Party, and no doubt it did exactly the same in the church in Rome. So what Paul is doing is he's writing a very carefully crafted letter to explore and deal with the source of a lot of that tension and a lot of those difficulties that the church in Rome was experiencing. And one of the key issues that is central to today's passage is the role of the law. And by that we mean partly the ceremonial law that was observed by the Jews, but also the moral law that's set out in the books of Moses in Exodus. And these are the moral laws that we still abide by today in our society. So this passage is almost like a bridging passage where Paul is carefully exploring exactly what the law means. He's talked a lot about how the law has been superseded by what Jesus has done, and he's going to go on in the rest of the passage to talk about what that means for us. But in this chapter, leading up to tomorrow's passage, he's actually going through in quite some detail exactly what the role of the law is. If we've gone beyond the law, what does the law mean? And this passage is almost played out like a three-character drama. You've got the law, which shows the difference between what is good and what is bad. It is described here as holy, righteous, and good. Then you have the sinful nature character, or sin living in me, and that's described in this passage as deceptive. It brings death to us. It exploits the law. Then the third character is I, myself, me. I desire to do what is good. However, under the law, I'm enslaved to sin. I've been sold as a slave. It brings up the picture of what was going on in Rome, where people were routinely captured and sold as slaves and lost all freedom and became obliged to do whatever they were told to by their master. So it's probably a much more vivid image for the readers of this than it is for us. And this passage goes through the interplay between these three characters, how the law shows what is right, sin exploits it and then enslaves I, myself. And I find that really relatable, that in my own mind, I feel that certain things are right and certain things are wrong. I know that there are certain behaviours that are right and certain behaviours that are wrong. And I want to do the right thing. I want to stand up and be honest, be wise, be reliable, be trustworthy, not to envy, not to bear false witness, to do all those things that are set out in the Ten Commandments that I think, yeah, that makes sense to me. But continually, whenever I examine myself and I examine my behaviours, I fall short. I can never be confident of anything other than my desire to do what is wrong. We're coming up to Easter, and if I was to say to my children, there's a cupboard over there that's got all your Easter eggs in it, I can guarantee that they'll probably sit and look forlornly at it from now until Easter and probably give in to temptation and take one of the Easter eggs. Now, does that make the fact that I've told them there's Easter eggs in the cupboard wrong? Well, it makes it stupid, but it doesn't make it wrong. But it shows how being told what's the difference between right and wrong can give birth to errant behaviour in and of itself. It doesn't make the commandment right or wrong. It just shows that we want to do what we know is bad for us. And overall, I just love the fact that this passage is in the Bible, that there is a section here that is just so relatable to my everyday circumstances. I have to be honest though, if this was all there was, it would be pretty depressing and pretty miserable. But fortunately, tomorrow, in tomorrow's reading, there is a superb ending to this passage that is really worth waiting for. So my reflection on that today is it's a great way of describing the tension that we find ourselves in, but thank goodness there's more to come tomorrow. Thank you.